She says the floodwater peaked at 27 feet high. We have seen videos and photos of the building floating down the river. And so it's just a really horrific situation. Dean says all PW employees and their families are safe. A federal judge has blocked a new California ban on election-related deepfakes. As NPR's Bobby Allen explains, the move follows a lawsuit claiming the crackdown on AI images cuts back on free expression.
Just 2 weeks after California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law restricting AI-generated election deepfakes, it has been blocked. U.S. District Judge John Mendez called the law a blunt tool that can hinder humorous expression and stifle the exchange of speech and ideas. It follows a lawsuit from a man who posted an AI-generated video of Vice President Kamala Harris. He claimed the video was protected by the First Amendment. The video was shared by Elon Musk, which led to criticism from Newsom. Musk then wrote on X, quote, "It would be a shame if it went viral." The video was viewed more than 50 million times. Bobby Allen, NPR News.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington.
From Central Florida Public Media, I'm Talia Blake. 2 new Florida laws that took effect this week could make things easier for people living with Alzheimer's disease in their interactions with law enforcement. Central Florida Public Media's Joe Burns has more.
Hundreds of thousands of Floridians have Alzheimer's disease, and most will wander off at some point. And when an officer encounters them, they can react with anxiety, fear, hostility, and become combative. They might not answer because they forgot their name or address. They forget social norms and sometimes make false claims of abuse. A new law creates optional training for police on recognizing someone with dementia, communicating with them using alternatives to physical restraints, and spotting abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Jennifer Braistad of the Alzheimer's Association says the law passed unanimously.
With HB 801 going into effect, law enforcement will actually be able to get continuing education now for this curriculum, which they have been asking for, and so now they'll actually be able to get credit for it.
A second law allows drivers to indicate a disability or disorder like Alzheimer's on their license. Joe Burns, Central Florida Public Media.
Hear more from Jennifer Braistad and an Alzheimer's caregiver on Engage. That's later today at 3 p.m. Mail-in ballots are en route to Central Florida voters who requested them. The Florida Department of State's deadline for counties to send ballots by mail to voters is today. Brevard County's Supervisor of Elections, Tim Bobanek, says the county is delivering over 90,000 mail-in ballots to the post office. Bobanek says his biggest advice to voters is to follow instructions.
We see this mistake every year. Voters forget to sign their certificate on it. And if you don't sign your ballot, then we can't count that ballot. Now, the exception to that is we will try to reach out to every voter.
If you still want to vote by mail, the deadline to request a mail-in ballot from Supervisor of Elections is October 24th. In addition to ballot deadlines, if you plan on voting in a general election November 5th, eligible Florida voters must be registered to vote with their county Supervisor of Elections by October 7th. As the election fast approaches, we've been talking about the youth vote and exploring what is driving young people this election. For Lily Dillon, a 19-year-old UCF student, it's the proposed state constitutional amendments that are motivating her to cast a ballot this election.
We have at least 6 amendments I know of that can, turn our school boards partisan. We can get recreational marijuana. We can enshrine abortion access into our state constitution if we choose. So I think there are a lot of really, really important issues specifically in our state, but also at the national level. And I think that should inspire people to get out and cast their vote no matter what way that vote goes.
The economy and healthcare are also motivating factors for young Central Floridians. Hear more from young voters and what's motivating them this election later this hour on Morning